The next moulding we're going to look at is this one. This is a pea moulding. These little peas are cut from this basic astragal. So what we have to do is mark it out in exactly the same way as we did for the last one, so that we have the width of the astragal here stepped off, and it's also the width of the tool. The first thing we need to do is on each of these marks that we've made, I made them with a pencil like this, I need to, let's do it here, push a chisel in and make a stab cut right on that mark like this. So I'm going to roll that over like this. High angle grip, straight down. I wouldn't use a mallet, and you go along and make this cut like that. Then we're going to take our gouge, start it low like so, and I tend to use a high angle grip like this, but brought down like this, so that I can bring the handle up like that. So this front edge is going to shunt forward just a little bit, and it's going to curve down around the shape of the pea. So from the middle here, I'm going to come up and down like this. When I get into rhythm, I'll be able to do this in one cut. But to begin with, you might need to do two, like a little bit like that, and then come down. So do the whole thing like that, all in one direction. Then I'd swap this around like so, put exactly the same cut, make sure that's safe, in this direction. So we come here and we join this first cut going in the opposite direction. Like that. I'll even do this end one here. Okay, so far so good. Now what we have to do is turn the tool at 90 degrees and coming this way, come round the shape here and down to this flat face here, what's called a quirk. And that's quite important. So we come down over this way, lifting the handle up, and we stab lightly into the background. And I can swap this around. I come this direction. Now this sort of technique we've seen in the centre of some flowers on the side, so this sort of should be a little bit familiar if you've done those projects. So now I've come, basically I've come this way, this way, this way and this way, so I've come all the way around it, and I'm left with cleaning up this little bit of wood in here. So we can use our fishtail chisel and just nick out that little bit of wood in here, like that. On this side here. And if all goes well, then we should see our pea moulding shaped like that. Now that's not very neat, and I am hurrying this a little bit. So I would then probably go over this and just check each one before I left it, especially this corner down here, like in there. I'll make sure at the junction. So the peas actually join together. There's no space in between. There's no gap. They come right down like that. I'll just check that. Take these bits off. Now, what's interesting here is that if you come across, say, this half here, this one, and you join this one there, what you've got is half a ball here and a bit of the astragal moulding. So what effectively you're ending up with is what is called a reel, or I think that's the main word we use, it, reel. So it's, sometimes this is called a bead and reel. So let me show you this one here. You can see I've done two peas or 2 beads and a reel, bead, reel, or 1, 1, 1, like this. So this is a really nice way of mixing pea moulding or bead moulding with these reels and getting an interesting effect. And you could think of this as a bit like Morse code, you know, dots and dashes, and there's nothing to stop you writing a message around a picture frame or something in Bead and Reel. The pea moulding normally doesn't exist on its own. It usually accompanies other mouldings like egg and dart or water leaf. Here's a little row of them. What's a good idea is to make a story stick like this. So you get a piece of wood into the Astragal moulding and divide it into the various stages. So for here I've got the marking out, the spacing. Here I've made my chisel cut, my stab cut. Then I've cut one side here, next stage the other side there. Then here I've come at 90 degrees, and here finally I've removed the little triangle delta bit in the middle here to create the actual final pea. So this is a story stick, storyboard, and if you have that you'll always remember the stages that you did when you were carving. What we're going to do as a project for this moulding is, I've not done this before, but I'm going to try and carve in this bowl that I've turned, which is a beautiful bit of olive ash. I've turned a Astragal moulding here in the middle, and we're going to try and make the pea moulding around the edge here. So that's going to be a bit of fun. So we'll see that a bit later.